I'm going to show you 3 tricks to start a trucking company with $0. Literally $0. That includes your equipment, your licenses, permits, and even your biggest and most expensive purchase, a semi-truck. But how is that even possible? To explain that, you first need to know how much it costs to start a trucking company, and I promise you, it's a lot higher than you think. Most truckers usually spend somewhere between $10,000 to $20,000 just on permits, fees, and insurance. That's a lot of money, but even after spending it all, you won't be able to move loads and get paid until you buy a semi-truck, which can range anywhere from $50,000 on the low end and over $200,000 for a brand new truck, if you're lucky enough to even find one. On top of all this, you'll have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars to keep your truck moving by paying for a driver and paying for diesel. Point is, you can't afford to make a mistake in this industry, which is why you need to use this first trick to get started, which is leverage. With leverage, we can use other people's money, pay a small interest on it, and hopefully end up making more money in the long run. If you've ever taken a loan from a bank to buy a house, you've used leverage. But believe it or not, getting money for a trucking company is much harder than buying a house. Most banks have really strict rules, and if you try to apply for a commercial truck loan as a new business, they're gonna laugh you out of the building. This is why you need to work with online lenders like Lendio that will help you find the best rates with no money down and no experience. You can even find lenders that will help you finance all the fees, permits, and insurance, so you really won't have to spend a single dollar of your own money. But at the end of the day, even if you go online, you're still applying for a commercial loan through a financial institution, which means the applications are going to be long, the interest rates for a startup will be high, and you'll need a great credit score to qualify. If that doesn't work for you, no worries, because then you can use trick number 2 to get started with $0, which is find investors. There are loads of people with a lot of money looking to invest in new trucking businesses, and no, you don't have to go on Shark Tank to find them. In fact, I was pretty recently offered over $1 million to start a new trucking company with someone. Unfortunately, I had to turn them down because I already have a successful trucking company of my own. But if you have no money, you'll have to team up with someone who does. So where do you even find these people? Well, I have 3 powerful websites that you can use to find investors within 24 hours. But before I tell you, there's something very important you need to do before you go looking for investors, and that is create a business plan. You need to make it obvious to the investor that you are the person that they should be working with, and you can do that by providing a clear business plan. Without one, no respected bank or investor will ever give you a single dollar. They'll all need to see some sort of plan, but making one from scratch can take weeks to finish, and it can be really confusing. So, to help you guys out, I made a simple 1-page business plan template that you can use and get started for free. To download it, just open up a new tab on your computer and go to my website at www.guilt22.com/templates. Alright, so now that you have a business plan, you can now start looking for investors, and the best place to get started is on crowdfunding websites like GoFundMe, Kickstarter, and Fundable. The great thing about crowdfunding is that no matter how much money you raise, you still own 100% of your business. That's right. You could get millions of dollars for your trucking company and still own 100% of it through these websites. And that's because crowdfunding is seen as a donation to your business and not really an investment. So if you have a really unique and emotional story behind your trucking business, you can raise a lot of money through crowdfunding websites, but for most of you watching, this probably isn't gonna work. That's why most of you will be better off just using a website like Mainvest to find real investors. This is a site where real investors go to help support businesses and make some money back on their investment. The reason this site is so incredible is because you, as the business owner, can set the minimum amount that each investor has to pay, how much money you'll pay them back, and how long you have to pay them that money. Based on the terms that you set, investors all across the world can come in and give you hundreds of thousands of dollars to get your trucking company started. If you think that sounds amazing, the third and final trick will blow your mind. There's a pretty obvious way of getting free money, and surprisingly, not a lot of truckers are taking advantage of it. I know a lot of you will be shocked to find out that it's actually the government that's giving away all this free money. $750 billion worth of free money. And they do this through government grants. Out of that $750 billion pool of money that the government gives out, over $114 billion are set aside just for transportation. There's a huge opportunity here to qualify for some free money, especially if you're someone that the government considers to be socially disadvantaged or economically deprived. So basically, if you have a low income, you come from a minority group, or you live in one of the poor cities in the US, you can qualify for SBA grants like the Business Development Program. This program will essentially help secure you a government contract for loads, which is basically a high-paying, dedicated contract. The best part is, if you qualify for this program, you can use it as proof that your business will make money when talking to a bank, and they'll be more than happy to give you money. But you don't have to be socially disadvantaged to apply for these government grants. Again, there's over $100 billion worth of grants available, and the application fee for most of these grants is $0. The reason most new trucking companies don't take advantage of this is because they just don't know where to find them. The best place to start looking would be by Googling SBA approved lender near me. When you find a few in your state, just call them up and explain that you're a new trucking company looking for some grants to help get your business off the ground. Trust me, I used to work at a nonprofit SBA lender as an underwriter, so I know that they'll be more than happy to show you what's available and even send you an email whenever they get a new grant. The thing is, you now know these 3 tricks to start a trucking company with $0, but that doesn't answer this question. How do I make money in trucking? Well, there's a whole step-by-step training guide you can follow, so if you really want to learn how I make my money, make sure you watch this video right here, where I show you how I negotiate the highest load rates with brokers. I give away a lot of little industry secrets at the end of that video, so make sure you go watch it.